put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to Good Morning Tobago. And you know, Trinidad and Tobago has one of the oldest hydrocarbon provinces. And in 2020, we signed Project Lara, which is our first industrial scale solar farm project. And that is expected to generate for us 112 megawatts for our energy grid. And this is in support of one of our goals of the Paris Agreement, which will see us have a 15% reduction in cumulative greenhouse gas emissions by 2020. And here with us today to chat about what they're also doing to support that, and Women in Solar is the Managing Director of Nuance Solar, Laureen Peters. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, Tobago.
Yes, listen, it's all women today. We're celebrating the run-up to International Women's Day 2024. You know, it's a special time for us women because this is a time where we want to focus on any of the things that we feel, you know, we haven't quite gotten equality and equity in, right? And you want to talk to us about the seminar you all will be having in support of women in solar and going green.
Correct.
Tell us about that and the work you're doing in Nuance Solar.
Sure. Thank you for having me. Nuance Solar has been incorporated for the last 5 years, and we focus on green energy, energy efficiency, and of course, promoting women in solar. We do everything from residential to commercial, powering you off the grid. So to highlight International Women's Day, we're focusing on inclusion of women in solar, educating them on how they can use it at home, how they can benefit from solar, and how they can save going into renewable energy.
You know, this is such a fantastic topic to be talking about today. And I'll tell you why, audience. It is because we're looking at the topic for UN International Women's Day, which is Invest in Women, right? Accelerate progress. And you have to be able to understand the link between investing in women and saving money, right?
Investing in the education about energy efficiency and, of course, being empowered so that you can have financial, you know, you can do anything that you want when it is that you have the ability, when you have the education. And this is what we focus on with Nuance Solar, letting everyone know that how it can benefit them.
I love that. And I know that, you know, as a woman, we love to save money. And the solar energy helps us reduce our energy demand on the grid.
Correct.
Because we are able to generate our own electricity through solar in our homes. How does that work exactly? I've never been able to really understand. Tell us about that, please.
Well, I'm glad that you asked that question, Joel, because there are many folks in Trinidad and Tobago still wondering how they can access it and how it can work for them. So it's simple. We have the sun every time we wake up in the morning. There's a beautiful sun reminder that, okay, we have natural resources, renewable energy every single day. The sun goes through the solar panels, it stores in the battery, and then through an inverter, it can power up all your appliances. So the best thing about it is that you don't even need to have demand from the grid or TN Tech power. You can be totally off grid and generate electricity for all your appliances that you need. But the focus is energy efficiency, consuming less to conserve for the future. And that is where the team for our seminar come, powering your future with solar energy.
Yes. You know, this is, I've lived in Barbados for about 10 years. And Barbados, listen, they blanket the whole of Barbados with solar power, right? You're flying over Barbados, it's solar panels, solar panels everywhere.
Yes, and that is what we want to see.
Yeah, I can't wait for Trinidad and Tobago to get like that.
Correct.
And I want to tell you all, there is a benefit to doing solar panels. Apart from, you know, reducing your energy bill, It's tax deductible.
Yes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's tax deductible. That's one of the greatest things I've ever heard. So, what it is exactly is that once you install these solar panels, you can claim for it on your individual income tax.
So,
Yes?
yes.
Tell
So the
us about
government
that.
had given us some beautiful tax incentives. It comes when you purchase and install a solar water heater. You get a tax break up to $10,000, right? And once it is that you have lower your electricity bill by incorporating solar and you use up to $300, you get a 25% tax rebate on your electricity bill. So those are some, motivations and benefits that the government have invented for us or created for the future to reach their energy consumption goals.
Yes. You know, ladies out there, girls and boys, wherever you may be listening, just remember you need to have solar in your house. It's one of those things, I can't say it enough. It's really going to make a difference on your bill. Tell us about what you see, as we head into International Women's Day, what you see perhaps as a push that needs to happen. Are there enough women dealing with solar energy, dealing with the engineering side of it, putting it together, coming and putting it on your house? Is there a need for a push for women to come into that industry and to stay there?
Well, we have seen from the past few years that there are so many now single parent home, woman-led homes, and they are taking the initiatives to lower their electrical bill or even to go off grid. So they are requesting to learn more about it, and that's where Nuance Solar comes in. And we have the Women in Solar program where we have trained over 19 women in Jamaica about solar energy and how they can incorporate it at work and even starting at home. So what we do, we train the women and now they can install stuff at home or even work with us. So that is some of the initiatives that we have started.
And what about in Trinidad? Are you doing this program here as well?
So we're doing it in Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to start after the seminar, the seminar launch on March 27th. And we teach everyone about the benefits of energy efficiency and renewable energy. Yes, we would have the next phase for Trinidad and Tobago and the Women in Solar.
So let us say, unfortunately, I don't get to come on Wednesday, the 27th of March, to this powering, seminar that you all have. How can I sign up for this Women in Solar program?
So we're all on the social media, and we are in collaboration with Tobago Downtown Electrical. So yes, there will be forms there in Scarborough. They have a location in Scarborough and in Spring Gardens. It will be at the plaza. So then you can come and sign up. And then when we take from there, and we will have our program running, one in Trinidad and one in Tobago, starting with 20 in Trinidad, and then we would have a selection in Tobago.
So what do you teach people in Women in Solar? I'm one of them fast people. I want to know what I come in to do.
All right.
Tell me about that.
So it starts off with the basics of understanding electricity. I mean, I have been in the industry for the last 15, 20 years of electrical engineering.
Well, you start really young,
And once we teach them about the basics about electricity, how it works, solar power is really DC power, so it's an alternative source. So then we start teaching them about how the solar panels work, how they operate, battery systems, and how to install it. So those who are shy for not climbing up on the rooftops, you're going to have to get off that shyness. And
well, not me. I'm a climber.
So it's an adventure. It's an adventure.
I'm a climber. I climb mango trees, pomsy tree. I fix the antenna.
Well, you're ready. You're ready.
Yes, man, I'm ready. Tell us what the lifespan is on solar, because persons want to know that their investment is going to make sense.
Yes. So technology have changed from back then to now. So they are hybrid systems and could last you 15 to 20 years. It's all about you conserving and how you use it, right? So you have the warranty with our systems, 10 years, but they can last you 15 to 20 years.
Wow, that's
so the
a long
lifespan
time.
is, you get in your return on your investment.
So, just to give it perspective, if you were to have a child, when you put it in, they'd be out of high school.
Yes,
right
correct.
Before the warranty was up. Okay, just putting it out there. You know, solar is something that I've always been interested in, and especially since it allows us to power so many devices and so
Yes.
many appliances in our home. But tell me, what kind of system would I need, and how do I know what I need
Right.
from y'all?
Okay, so we do something called an energy audit. Every home is different. You know, I have a lot of people calling and asking for 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom homes, or even to power up air-conditioned units, right? Because that is the massive draw. But because we have a little limitations here in Trinidad and Tobago, where we can't feed back to the grid, so we have to use the battery. The batteries are a little, you know, at a higher cost. So what we do is that once we install the systems, they're able to resize it based on the appliances that you're going to use. So you can have half of your house on the solar and half on the grid.
Okay.
So what we do is the design for the system. We come do a site visit. We say, okay, you can go solar, install it on your rooftop or even ground mounted or even as a carport.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we able to give you an estimate from there.
I like that. I like what you just said about having it ground mounted.
Yes.
Because some people, you know, if you perhaps have a house, in terms of many families living in one space, you may not be able to use the roof.
And even so, it have insurances on some of the rooftops. On it,
Right,
yes.
so you're not able to do that on the roof.
So you can't put it on the ground.
Okay. And how does that affect, you know, that collection of the solar, of that UV ray? Does it penetrate?
So it does. It once you have light, and we do our testing with our instruments where we can get full lighting, no shaded. Fortunately, if you have trees, we can't put it where it have the trees, so that's why we prefer to put it on the rooftop. But if you have like 5-10 acres of land, you can have it ground mounted.
Okay. Listen, this is so interesting to me because we live in an island, right? As a matter of fact, we live in a region. This is the entire Caribbean. We have 24 hours of hot sun.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
Blazing hot sun, right? And that we don't utilize this gift enough, right? We should have had solar from, you know, from since Jesus was a baby in the manger.
Gone are the days of non-renewable energy, no more hydrocarbons, renewable energy moving forward.
Tell us, if you can, a little bit about if you know the Paris Agreement and that 15% reduction. Is that something that companies, businesses are getting on board with in terms of trying to help Trinidad and Tobago get to that 15% reduction in emissions by 2030?
Yes, a lot of companies are switching to green energy practices. You can see from NGC, they're more incorporating CNG. You're seeing businesses installing solar systems or even, you know, just cutting down on your bill using the solar air conditioned units, you see a lot of guest homes using solar water heaters so that, you know, their bills can go down and even less demand from the grid. So we are seeing the transition more from businesses and individuals moving to solar.
I think this is a fantastic initiative that you all are doing, making sure that Tobago is blanketed in solar panels, right? We have so many guest houses in Tobago, and it will really reduce the bill, not just for the tourism industry, but for every business.
Everyone,
right?
even individuals in rural areas. Accessing power can be a limitation. So the solar energy is the perfect solution.
You hit the nail on the head, Miss Managing Director, because, you know, being in a rural area, sometimes you're not able to access public utilities as much as you need.
And we have all the natural resources to use.
Tobago, we're rounding up here, but I'm just letting you know, if you're in a rural area, you have a business, you have a home, listen, and you need to reduce your solar energy bill, please give Nuance Solar, our managing director, Miss Lauren Peters. Give her a call and find out what your home needs, what kind of system would suit your home, so that you can help with this Paris Agreement and our expectation to have a 15% reduction in cumulative greenhouse gases by 2030. And thank you for viewing with us today.